King Von was fundamentally a black disciple. One of the riskiest blocks in Chicago is O Block.
My brother got the rack lit, O Block, 3rd, 64th, like, everybody would want to go over there because my brother, like, he the real go.
Located at 64th and King Drive. The internet, however, is describing the recent release of fresh video showing his own mother surrounded by purported Gangster Disciples members as the ultimate betrayal of everything Von stands for. This is what transpired between the GDs and King Von's mother. This is the whole story behind the video and the reasons it went viral. The video and the aftermath. The video went viral on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Videos revealed King Von's mother, Tasha Bennett, dancing, posing, and mingling at clubs. Pictures went viral. One Academics TVX post featured pictures of Tasha wearing a tight-fitting brown bodysuit and gold boots, with the statement that she was ready to go out in her 50s. More than 11,000 people liked, and 2 million people viewed that post alone. However, her attire was not the subject of the remarks. The individuals standing close to her were the subject of the remarks. People on the internet recognized Gangster Disciples members by their hand signals, tattoos, or other recognized affiliations. In late 2025 and early 2026, there were rumors that Tasha was interacting or dating a GD member. The same thing was often mentioned by fans. When her son died while representing BD, how is she able to be among GDs? You must know who King Von was in order to see why that question is so important. King Von, a rapper from the O Block area on Chicago's South Side, who was born Davon Daquan Bennett on August 9, 1994, was a member of the Black Disciples gang. O Block bears the name of BD member Odie Perry, who passed away. Von made mention to gang rivalries in his lyrics, especially those involving the Gangster Disciples. For decades, BD and GD have been at odds. On both sides, lives have been lost. Von's whole public persona was linked to that conflict. Then, on November 6, 2020, Von was shot and killed at the age of 26 during a shooting outside an Atlanta, Georgia, nightclub. He left behind a mother who would now bear the burden of his name in public, 3 children, and a body of music. That mother is Tasha Bennett. Von was reared in Chicago by her. She saw him go to prison. She saw him become a rapper. Once he returned home, she saw him release singles like Crazy Story after signing to Lil Durk's Only the Family label. When he was found not guilty in a murder trial, she was present. Kayla B., his sister, remembered sitting in the courtroom. Kayla explained that she knew her brother would win the lawsuit because of the way the witnesses acted. Upon all of that, the video was released upon Von's passing, the memorial services, and the posthumous albums. His mother is close to suspected GDs. Context was not requested by the internet. It responded, Tasha answered. She claimed that her personal life had nothing to do with gang politics and denied having a romantic relationship with any GD member. She stated that she was concentrating on getting better and leading her life. However, the internet had already decided. The video was available. The takes were in. Furthermore, Tasha Bennett was suddenly the focus of a discussion that she did not initiate. You must comprehend the battle this footage alludes to in order to appreciate why it was so powerful. And that war dates back more than half a century. The conflict between Gangster Disciples and Black Disciples. The rivalry between BD and GD is not a rap feud. Drill music is decades behind this generational clash, which has its roots in Chicago's South Side. And it's the prism that everyone using to evaluate Tasha Bennett's decisions is using. The 1960s is when it begins. The industries in Chicago were failing. Production had shifted abroad. The manufacturing of steel was dwindling. Additionally, intentional marginalization and unemployment were choking the African American communities that had moved to the South Side during the Great Migration. Property sales to black renters were prohibited by restrictive covenants. Redlining was the practice of banks refusing to lend in their communities. Young black males formed street crews for protection after growing weary of being harassed and left behind by a city that did not want them.
So with all of this going on at the time, it's safe to say that no one was really looking out for the best interests of the black community in Chicago.
The Disciples, later renamed the Devil's Disciples, rose out of those circumstances. King David, a young leader named David Barksdale, was one of the first members.
David Barksdale was famously referred to as King David.
According to reports, Von furthered his personal connection to the Black Disciples by claiming to be the grandson of the organization's founder, David Barksdale. Meanwhile, a group of young men decided to form their own crew, the Supreme Gangsters, after meeting at Larry Hoover's house in 1964.
The story of the crew, who would later go on to be the GDs or Gangster Disciples, starts in 1964 when a group of young men all met in the home of a man named Larry Hoover.
They were sitting directly on the edge of competitor territory as they observed the hustlers through a window. Thus, they asserted ownership of their block.
They decided that they wanted to start their own crew and take over the block.
At first, there was no animosity between the Disciples and the Supreme Gangsters. However, conflicts grew more intense, and the two factions clashed as Barksdale extended his operation into the Black Disciple Nation. Ironically, Hoover and Barksdale shared authority when they united to form the Black Gangster Disciple Nation in 1969. Before Barksdale passed away in September 1974 from kidney disease linked to an old gunshot wound, that shaky union lasted.
And after King David's death, it seemed like many members stopped respecting Larry Hoover's leadership, and ultimately leading members to disrespect the Supreme Gangsters side.
For 5 years, Larry Hoover could not control the fervor for King David among his supporters. As members broke away, the Black Disciples once again became a separate organization, and a civil war broke out right away. Once brothers in the same organization, the BDs and GDs were now bitter rivals. There has never been a halt to that battle. The two gangs ran destructive campaigns to dominate Chicago's drug markets during the 1980s crack epidemic. The GDs allegedly operated a $100 million cocaine enterprise annually out of housing developments, like as Cabrini Green and the Robert Taylor homes. According to reports, the BDs made up to $300,000 a day operating out of what they termed the castle, a headquarters. Children were enlisted as soldiers by both sides. The violence was cyclical, personal, and unrelenting. Every murder leads to the next.
Today, the Housing Authority is $30 million in debt. The building codes are not being enforced, and the elevators, when they work, are called the most dangerous form of public transportation in Chicago.
What the locals had endured for years was captured on camera by the news crews.
The only structure is provided by the gangs, who marked their turf with spray paint and set up sniper posts in high-rise buildings.
It was astounding how widespread the violence was in these projects. 200 people were shot or stabbed in Cabrini Green in a single year, which translates to 8 violent crimes for every 100 residents. The GDs and BDs were at the heart of the bloodshed, battling for pride, territory, and drug profits. Federal law enforcement began destroying both organizations from the top down during the 1990s. Authorities wiretapped a visitor's badge used by enforcers who came to get orders from Larry Hoover in prison, leading to new charges against him. After being sent to a supermax institution in Colorado, he almost stopped communicating with the outside world. New indictments against BD members resulted from high-ranking member Robert Allen's 1998 flip, when he admitted to selling more than 220 pounds of crack. Members of both gangs were uprooted and forced to form new alliances when housing projects such as Robert Taylor homes were demolished in the early 2000s. The centralized systems of power disintegrated. Smaller, more erratic street sets replaced them. Crews fought over who was on the next one over, regardless of previous alliances, and seized specific blocks. Following the death of O.D. Perry, that renaming took place. O Block was immortalized by Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and King Von, making it the most well-known BD set in the nation. With rappers like FBG Duck flying their flag, GD setups like STL, subsequently Tukaville, and EBT established their own identities across the street. These block battles became a global source of entertainment throughout the drill music era. The violence was captured by DJ Academics on his War in Chirac channel. The music side was covered in Noisy's Welcome to Chirac series. The feuds, in which the protagonists were actual people dying actual deaths, were consumed by fans like a television show. King Von and entire generations were formed by this environment. Even if people were unaware of the entire extent of the history, this is what they were referring to when they were outraged by Tasha Bennett's appearance in those films. Chicagoans are not oblivious to the BD-GD divide. It permeates graveyards, street corners, and family lines. For a person like King Von, it served as the center of his entire existence. The part King Von played in the BD-GD conflict. King Von was not a passive observer of the BD-GD struggle. He was an active participant, and the conflict influenced his reputation, his music, and eventually the course of his brief life. His involvement is essential to comprehending why videos of his mother close to suspected GD members sparked such intense internet reactions. Younger members of BD renamed the housing complex where Vaughn grew up, Parkway Gardens, O Block, in honor of their deceased member, O.D. Perry. That one street was designated the most hazardous block in Chicago due to the 19 shootings that occurred there between June 2011 and June 2014. O Block's direct competitors were EBT on 64th and Eberhart, the GD sets across 63rd Street, and STL, which was subsequently renamed Tukaville after another deceased member. In 2014, Vaughn's suspected role in the bloodshed of the war gained significant attention. At the age of 19, he was connected to the shooting death of 17-year-old Gakira K.I. Barnes, a known GD member of the STL sect who was also suspected of committing several killings, including the murder of O.D. Perry, according to local legend. Vaughn was questioned by police as a person of interest, but at the time, charges were not brought because of inconsistent witness statements. But in 2021, he was identified as her murderer in Chicago Police Department papers that had been unsealed. While acknowledging that she was aware of the rumors, his sister Kayla B. made it clear that she would not be verifying any of the claims made against her brother. She resisted Vaughn being blamed for instances after his death.
Y'all got a video or something? Like, how y'all know my brother did that? If it ain't no video, he ain't did shit.
Kayla made it apparent that her brother's name shouldn't be used as a repository for unresolved issues.
Y'all ain't gonna put that on my brother, he ain't did shit. Let him rest.
During the drill rap era, the feud grew more intense.
Like, stop putting shit on him, that's fine.
Vaughn engaged in public provocations with Tukaville faction rapper FBG Duck, who is linked with GD. Dead Beaches, a 2020 song by Duck, made fun of specific O Block members who had passed away. According to court filings and FBI files, Vaughn allegedly set a $50,000 prize on Duck, which was then increased to $100,000. Duck was killed in an ambush in the Gold Coast neighborhood of Chicago on August 4, 2020. In January 2024, 6 members of O Block BD were found guilty of federal racketeering crimes related to the hit. Vaughn died 3 months after Duck did, after being shot in Atlanta during a fight with the gang of rapper Quando Rondo. Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, the shooter, recounted the incident on Vlad TV.
Well, you pull out and you shoot 4 times.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
Oh, the gun jammed?
Yeah.
After the 3rd shot, according to Lul Tim, his weapon broke down.
After the 4th shot?
Probably like the 3rd shot.
Okay.
When police arrived on the scene, they shot him twice.
What parts of the body?
I get shot in my right hip bone, and I get shot on my ass. I go in and out.
The interviewer persisted in asking about the experience despite the fact that the injuries were severe enough to necessitate prolonged medical care.
Okay, so this is now the 2nd time you've gotten shot.
In August 2023, Georgia's Stand Your Ground law resulted in the dismissal of all charges against Leaks after prosecutors concluded he acted in self-defense. Kayla B., Vaughn's sister, was in the parking lot that evening. She heard the shooting but did not witness it. A series of phone conversations ensued.
I'm in the car with my friends and my brothers and them, like, we just talking and shit. Then we hit gunshots. What the f?
Gradually shattering her world, her driver stopped. The car took a while to move. All around them, chaos was breaking out.
So my driver, he pull out, but then he like stopped and freeze up. So now we see like what's going on, like the shooting.
People fleeing, bodies hitting the ground, gunfire. After the first shock subsided, Kayla began phoning. Her brother was the first person she called. He didn't respond. When she called her cousin Booney, he answered and informed her that Vaughn had been shot.
For real, like what the f? I still go crazy and shit. So that's when everybody calling me and shit. They were saying he was good and shit.
But that it had only happened once, and that he was fine. She made an effort to calm herself, holding on to the hope that he was all right.
So I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna stress it. But it's like, I stayed up till like 7 in the morning. I ain't getting no sleep.
She remained awake until 7 in the morning before eventually falling asleep.
Then I wake back up. His cousin called me. He gone. I said on the internet. I went crazy.
The second call then came. Every discussion of King Vaughn's legacy is rooted on that particular documented pain. Fans frequently use music and memes to digest the BDGD fight when they discuss it. At 7 a.m., Tasha Bennett and Kayla B are handling it by processing calls. informing them of the death of their brother and son. Tasha Bennett lived in this world. Her son became embroiled in a conflict that included rivals, friends, and ultimately Vaughn. Every commenter on that widely shared video compared it to this particular history, which was recorded in court documents and coffins. Tasha Bennett is a public living mother. Tasha Bennett made no decision to enter the spotlight. Her son's death and popularity thrust her into the spotlight, which she has managed with a combination of fury, sadness, and determination to back down. To get the whole picture, it is essential to comprehend her beyond the viral video. Vaughn was raised by her in one of America's most violent neighborhoods. Vaughn's father, Walter E. Bennett, also called Silk, was killed when Vaughn was 11 years old and spent the majority of Vaughn's early years in and out of jail. Tasha discussed the significance of that loss for her oldest kid in a documentary-style interview that was posted on TikTok. She talked about how Vaughn's father's passing affected her. I felt dissatisfied, indignant, and upset. The fact that the father of my first child isn't able to watch him grow up causes a wide range of feelings. She carried the burden of Vaughn's lack of a father figure, which influenced Vaughn's eventual decision to turn to the streets. Tasha allegedly disapproved of Vaughn's continuous engagement in gangs, but was supportive when his music career took off. In a widely shared film, she was seen questioning him about his affiliations and attempting to pull him away from the path that would ultimately lead to his death.
She kind of stuck in her ways. A lot of people say we act alike, so maybe that's the reason. Like, she still want to be young and stuff.
In her own interview, Vaughn's sister Kayla B talked about the complex connection between their mother and the family.
It's like she's stubborn too. Like, she be stuck in her ways. She's stubborn with, like, I feel like as a mother, you shouldn't be like that with your kids.
Highlighting generational conflicts, Kayla gave a candid evaluation of their mother's character. Tasha's public prominence increased following Vaughn's passing. She tweeted homage on anniversaries, addressed rumors, and oversaw parts of his legacy. She posted a statement on his official Instagram on the 3rd anniversary of his passing. "We are thankful for the music and memories you left us, even though we all miss you. You had a profound effect on all of our lives." She was questioned about what she missed most about Vaughn in a more recent interview tape. Her response has nothing to do with fame or music. It was painful and personal. "He gave me a kiss and smiled as he cocked his head. Ma, you are loved." However, Tasha also refused to be a mother in mourning. She was active on social media, sharing pictures of her travels, nightlife, and clothes. She went viral several times on her own terms, thanks to her daring fashion choices and youthful appearance, with detractors accusing her of acting inappropriately for a lady in her 50s, and fans applauding her confidence. She reacted with her usual bluntness when trolls blasted her for wearing skimpy attire. "It's just a bodysuit and shorts." She shut off the internet when an AI-generated photo of her at Vaughn's burial went viral. "I don't find this hilarious, because it's not real." The GD footage followed. In late 2025 and early 2026, there were rumors that Tasha was hanging out or dating a member of Gangster disciples. She was shown in pictures and videos interacting with people who internet pundits said were connected to GD. What the internet does, the internet did. A complex human being was reduced to a single story. Either she was a free lady going about her life, or she was a traitor to Vaughn's memory. Anything in between was out of the question. Directly addressing the rumors, Tasha brushed them off as false information. She made it clear that she was not seeing any members of GD, and that she would not permit gang politics, even those that influenced her son's life, to control her personal life.
It's a lot of situations that we don't even know about that he helped people.
Yeah, his guys, that nigga, he loved them little boy.
It's ironic because Vaughn was well known for his kindness, tenderness, and protectiveness toward his loved ones. Kayla B talked extensively about this aspect of him, the side that lay beneath the street notoriety and the drill songs.
Like, most of them call him pop shit. Like, so that happening for Vaughn, like, they was excited. They was happy as hell because they know Vaughn gonna make sure everybody's straight.
When the money started rolling in, she explained, Vaughn took care of everyone. He assisted people in many circumstances that we aren't even aware of. Yes, he liked the little lads, his guys. He was so much admired by his team that many of them referred to him as Pops, a nickname that reflected the fatherly role he played while only being in his mid-20s. Vaughn ensured that Kayla was well. He ensured his mother was heterosexual.
Like I told you, he had took a picture of me. I wasn't even looking. And he was like, Shorty finna have everything she ever wanted.
He provided for the needs of both his children and their moms. Once, while Kayla wasn't even looking, he took a picture of her and promised to make sure she got everything she could possibly desire. Tasha Bennett reared that individual. She lost that individual. The same website that lauds Von's street cred and promotes his music every day is now the one informing his mother on who she can stand close to and how she can grieve, what it implies, and why it went viral. Because of what it depicted. The video of Tasha Bennett with purported Gangster Disciples members did not become widely shared. Because of what people projected onto it, it went viral. It was situated at the nexus of gender norms, generational sadness, gang allegiance, and the odd way that hip-hop culture transforms personal suffering into material. Gang allegiance makes up the first tier. In the drill environment of Chicago, affiliation is viewed as inherited and everlasting. Being BD from O Block became the cornerstone of King Von's public persona. That identity was celebrated in his songs. It was a continuation of his feuds with FBG Duck and GD Sets on the 63rd Fans, viewed his mother's presence among suspected GDs as a posthumous transgression of what Von stood for. However, there is something unsettling about how fans interact with this environment that is revealed by that expectation. By listening to drill music, keeping up with the feuds, and learning body counts, they consider the BD-GD battle as entertainment and insist that those who are actually residing there always follow its rules. Tasha Bennett does not belong to a gang. One of her sons was killed by violence. The notion that she will have to adhere to gang rules throughout her life, including in her interpersonal interactions, illustrates how ingrained this culture has become in the general public's mind. Age and gender make up the second layer. Analyses of Tasha's behavior and appearance have always filtered her viral moments. Commenters advised her to act her age when she shared pictures of herself wearing tight clothing. Her priorities were called into doubt when she was spotted dancing and clubbing. Opinions ranged from disgust to adoration as the twerking video went viral and received millions of views. All of this was heightened by the GD footage. She was out, visible, and unrepentant about living, although so many expected her to grieve quietly and permanently. It wasn't simply that she was close to her alleged rivals. The third layer consists of the continuing series of events that Von's passing triggered, a series that continues to result in casualties. Federal authorities said that Lil Durk, Von's mentor and label head, set up a murder-for-hire scheme and put a bounty on Rondo following the death of Von. Rondo was shot by shooters purportedly employed by Durk at a gas station on August 19, 2022, close to the Beverly Center Mall in Los Angeles. Savaya Pab Robinson, his cousin, was killed in the crossfire, but Rondo lived. According to the prosecution, Durk paid the hitmen money and prospects in the music industry, and the money paid for the attack's logistics and travel. In October 2024, Durk was apprehended while allegedly trying to leave the country, close to Miami International Airport. Conspiracy to commit murder for hire was the charge against him. Asa Houston, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, and Kayvon London Grant, 5 suspected F associates, were also charged with murder for hire resulting in death.
I was calm. So it's like this time, I knew like, do the same thing, like stay calm and just make sure I get to the hospital.
Durk entered a not guilty plea and is still being held pending trial as of early 2026. There are even more legal ramifications. The mother of FBG Duck sued Lil Durk, Von's estate, F, and Sony Music for wrongful death.
I didn't know neither one if he was gone or still alive. I just, like I say, I didn't even know it was him.
Claiming that they were a criminal organization that controlled the drill scene in Chicago by inciting violence. According to the lawsuit, record labels directly benefited from fostering the risky competition between BD and GD rappers. Lil Tim, the man who fired the shot that killed Von, is now at liberty, pursuing a career in music and publicly talking about the event. He explained how the shooting had a profound impact on his life and body, adding that he was unaware that he had shot King Von until much later. He was only responding in the midst of the confusion to shield Rondo from what appeared to be a group attack. He remarked, "I had no idea whether he was dead or alive. Both new content and new casualties are constantly being produced by the war machine." Federal indictments, multi-million-dollar lawsuits, a retaliatory killing in Los Angeles, and an unceasing stream of social media commentary were all consequences of Vaughn's death. Every arrest, drop charge, viral video, and fresh development feeds back into the computer. Tasha Bennett went to a club in spite of all that. She performed a dance. She was pictured close to individuals who the internet determined were GDs. And as a result, she faced the same condemnation that has accompanied her ever since her son's death and subsequent fame. Social media reactions equally encapsulated both views. Supporters commended her fortitude and noted that she was in her 50s rather than her 90s, recognizing a woman who refused to let tragedy define her. It was deemed insulting by many who questioned her ability to be around others who disagreed with all her son stood for. TikTok edits superimposed Vaughn's music on her party footage, and memes became common. The entire situation turned into a spectacle, a perfect example of how the internet handles someone else's suffering. Tasha Bennett has not betrayed anyone, as the viral video ultimately revealed. It revealed the unrealistic demands made on the relatives of victims of gang violence. In a city that failed the neighborhoods where both BDs and GDs were born, she is expected to grieve in accordance with laws she did not set, for a conflict she did not initiate. For more than 50 years, the BD-GD battle has continued. As a result of drug empires, federal racketeering indictments, and the destruction of the housing developments that gave rise to both gangs, it began with displaced young men creating protection squads on Chicago's South Side. In the history of entertainment, it spread to drill music, where it became the most popular kind of street violence. And it goes on. In courtrooms where Lil Durk is expected to stand trial. In interviews where Lil Tim talks about the night he shot a stranger. In lawsuits brought by moms who lost their sons. And in viral videos of another mother attempting to survive amid the ruins. Following his passing, King Vaughn's family sent a statement that encapsulated something crucial. Thank you to everyone who has shown their outpouring of love for King Vaughn. You all played a massive role in Vaughn's accomplishments. By continuing to play his music and sharing your stories about how he has inspired and influenced you all, you're keeping his legacy alive. Fans were urged to honor Vaughn through his music in those heartfelt comments. Fans were not asked to police his mother's friendships, keep tabs on her social life, or use her suffering as leverage to get her to engage. People wanted the video to have some significance, so it went viral. It was evidence to some that loyalty expires with the one who earned it. Others saw it as evidence that even when the dead are unable to continue living, the living deserve to. The internet didn't need an explanation from Tasha Bennett. In any case, she gave one, and the internet continued to speak about it as expected. I appreciate you watching. To view more videos like this one, click on one of the boxes that is currently playing on your screen.